Behind the Curtain. Part 1. The Complaining Man. Jackson was a young man in his late 20s. He was tall, good-looking, and had a university degree. But Jackson had one big problem. He hated hard work. After graduation, he had several jobs, but never stayed long in any of them. He always complained. If the office was too busy, he would say, "They want to kill me with work." If the office was quiet, he would say, "There's nothing interesting here." Every time he made a mistake, he blamed others. If he came late, he said the traffic was bad. If he missed a deadline, he said his computer was too slow. One by one, he lost all his jobs. Part 2. Mr. Barry's PA. One day, Jackson got a new job as a personal assistant PA to a rich businessman named Mr. Barry. Mr. Barry was everything Jackson wanted to be. He wore the best clothes, drove the newest cars, and lived in a big mansion with a gate as high as a tree. Even his shoes looked more expensive than Jackson's entire wardrobe. Jackson watched his boss and grew bitter. He said to himself, "This man is just enjoying. Every day he relaxes while I run around. I'm the one doing all the work." He hated waking up early. He hated carrying files. He hated being called to serve coffee. He would stare at his boss's luxurious office and think, if only I were in his shoes. Part 3. A strange meeting. One cold evening after work, Jackson walked into a bar and ordered a bottle of beer. He drank and frowned, thinking about his life. "I'm educated. I'm smart. Why should I suffer while another man enjoys?" Just then, a strange old man walked over to his table. The man had a long gray beard, dirty clothes, and sharp, shining eyes. He looked like he had come out of an old storybook. "You look miserable, young man," the old man said, sitting down. Jackson grunted. "I'm just tired of this life." "I can help you," the man whispered. "Give me a drink, and I'll change your life forever." Jackson laughed. "What can you do?" "Try me," the old man replied. Jackson shrugged and bought him a drink. The man sipped it slowly, then pulled something from his pocket. It was a small charm, soft and feathery like the tail of a bird. "My name is Pahuza," the man said. "This charm has power. Touch any man with it, say these words, Eskamora Tana, and you will become him." Jackson's eyes widened. "Become him? As in switch bodies?" "Yes, but be careful what you wish for." Jackson chuckled. He didn't believe in magic, but he took the charm anyway. Part 4. The Body Swap. The next morning, Jackson was the first to arrive at the office. He clutched the charm in his pocket. His heart beat fast. At 9 o'clock, Mr. Barry walked in. Jackson stood, walked up to him, touched his shoulder with the charm, and whispered, "Eskamora Tana." Suddenly, Mr. Barry convulsed and fell to the floor. Jackson screamed. But then his own body began to shake violently. The world spun. Darkness covered his eyes. When he opened them, he was staring at his own body on the ground. It worked. He had become Mr. Barry. Part 5. The Mansion of Regret. That evening, Jackson, now Mr. Barry, went home in a luxury car. The house gate opened like magic. Servants bowed. "Welcome, sir." He was happy until he met his wife. She was nothing like he imagined. Her voice was loud and sharp. She insulted the cook. She scolded the gardener. She looked him up and down and snapped, "You're late again." At dinner, she chewed loudly and talked nonstop about people Jackson didn't know or care about. That night, Jackson lay in bed but could not sleep. The woman snored like a train beside him. He covered his ears with pillows. This can't be real, he thought. Part 6. The Price of Luxury. The next morning, Jackson sat in a jacuzzi, trying to enjoy his new life. Suddenly, he felt a sharp pain in his belly. It was like hot knives dancing in his stomach. He rushed to the hospital. The doctor ran some tests and came back with a serious face. "Sir, you have a chronic ulcer. You must avoid pepper, fried food, alcohol, and anything acidic." "No fried food?" Jackson asked in horror. "Not even a taste," the doctor said. Jackson sighed. What's the point of being rich if you can't eat good food? Part 7. Breathless Riches. One evening, while taking a walk, Jackson smelled something amazing. Someone was frying chicken. He stopped and inhaled deeply. His stomach growled. Suddenly, he began to wheeze. His chest tightened. He fell to the ground, gasping for air. People gathered. A man gave him an asthma pump. After a long struggle, Jackson finally breathed again. The doctor's face was grave the next day. "You also have asthma. You must avoid dust, strong smells, stress." Jackson felt like crying. This man's body is a full-time hospital. Part 8. The Escape. A week later, Jackson was driving to work when he heard gunshots at a busy crossroad. People screamed. Cars turned around. Then he noticed something terrifying. The gunmen were chasing his car. He jumped out, ran into the bush, and lay on the ground. His heart pounded like a drum. After hours of crawling and hiding, he escaped. His clothes were torn. His face was covered in mud. He sat under a tree and wept. "I want my old life back," he whispered. Part 9. The Shocking Discovery. One afternoon, Jackson walked into a fancy restaurant to eat a sad, ulcer-friendly meal. He looked around and froze. At a table near the window sat a young man, eating, laughing, and looking rich. It was him, his old self, dressed in designer clothes, ordering expensive wine, surrounded by friends. Jackson's mouth dropped open. "How?" he whispered. "The charm. If he could find it, he could switch back." Part 10. The Madman's Cry. He rushed home and tore the drawers open. He searched everywhere, but the charm was gone. He ran back to the bar. "Do you know a man named Pahuza?" he asked the bartender. "Who?" the man replied. "The old man, long beard, strange eyes. No one like that ever comes here." Jackson asked every customer. No one had ever heard the name. Days passed. He roamed the streets, shouting, "Pahuza! Jackson! Please, Pahuza!" People stared. Some gave him coins, thinking he was a beggar. Others crossed the street to avoid him. He no longer looked rich. His clothes were dirty. His eyes wild. He had wanted another man's life, but now he had lost his own. Moral: be careful what you wish for. What looks like gold on the outside may be full of sorrow inside. Now answer the following questions. 1. Why do you think Jackson was never satisfied with his jobs, and what does that say about his character? 2. If you were in Jackson's position and had the chance to switch lives with someone, what would you consider before making that choice and why? Words to learn. 1. Convulse. To shake or move violently, often due to illness or shock. Example: Jackson began to convulse the moment he used the charm. 2. Snore. To breathe noisily while sleeping. Example: the loud snore of his new wife kept him awake all night. 3. Gasp. To breathe in suddenly and loudly, often in shock or pain. Example: he gasped for air when the asthma attack hit him. 4. Luxury, great comfort, often involving expensive things. Example: he thought the jacuzzi was the best part of luxury living until pain struck. 5. Wander, to walk around without a clear direction or purpose. Example: he wandered the streets, shouting for Pahuza like a madman. Thank you for listening. Please don't forget to subscribe for more.